CQ satellite. This is the Bravo Golf Zero Alpha United Bravo CQ Oscar 100.
Hello everyone. This is the Bravo Golf Zero Alpha United Bravo BG0AUB. My name is Feng. China name is Zhao Feng. My QTH is Urumqi, Xinjiang of China. My location is November 330 Victor. 很高兴今天来到QSO Today 在这里跟大家分享我与 QSO 100的一些故事。
Hello everyone, welcome to my Oscar 100 satellite QSO and DIY story. This presentation will cover the following items. Myself, how I started with Oscar 100. My great honor I could be the first Chinese Oscar 100 station. I will focus more on my Oscar 100 gear DIY journey. Finally, some my hopes from me. I am an electronics hobbyist, a ham, and I am also mod aircraft enthusiast. I like doing DIY and building interesting stuff. My ham experiences are simple. 10 years ago, I received my first junior license and gained Bravo Golf Zero Alpha Uniform Bravo call sign. 3 years ago, I have upgraded to intermediate license. Although I have had a call sign 10 years ago, but my first QSO was started from Oscar 100. Here is up to my story. Initially, I got a message of the open of Oscar 100. Transporter was from a local ham, whose call sign is Bravo Alpha 4 Tango Bravo, BA4TB. This will date back to December time in 2018. He wrote that message and posted on a Chinese ham internet forum. In his post, he mentioned Oscar 100 is GEO satellite with some armed radio payloads. I then developed a great interest in making contests using this satellite. I want to AMSat DL website and gain more detail on this satellite. I was lucky. My location, Lock November 33, is covered by Oscar 100 satellite with a 11-degree azimuth, which is not too bad. I decided to have a try according to my satellite TV receiving experience. I got a 1.meter KU offset feed dish, and a LNB with low was 9750 MHz. Furthermore, I discovered I have a 2 UAV drum radio, a transmitter PA, which center frequency was around 2.1 GHz. However, it made a 1.5 watts output at 2.4 GHz band. I used Lime SDR Mini and AirSpy as a transmitter front and receiver. In this case, I can work on 2.4 GHz and 739 MHz directly. When I finish all my preparation works, the clock ticket to January 2019. Oscar 100 transport was not fully operated. Anyway, all my works are always as good as a good preparation. In February 2019, I got a message from AMSat DL forum. Oscar 100 transporter was formally open to use. On the 23rd February, I have received the Oscar 100 CW beacon for the first time, and the next day I made a short QSO with Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Yankee Mike PA3FYM successfully. This could be the first time a Chinese ham was on Oscar 100. In the following days, I became the unique Chinese ham and station on Oscar 100. Until December 2019, I have made a contact with Bravo Golf Zero, Charlie Alpha Bravo on Oscar 100. That was the first Bose and Chinese ham point-to-point QSO on this satellite. More frequency information is from AMSat DL. Uplink is S-band, downlink is X-band. For narrowband communications, it is allowing a less than 2.7 kHz bandwidth SSB, CW or digital modes. The uplink frequency range is 2400.05 to 2400.3 MHz, right-hand polarized. For the downlink, its frequency range is 10,489.500 to 10,490.000 MHz, vertically polarized. Total bandwidth is 500 kHz. For wideband communications, it is lowering data mode to be used as uplink. Bandwidth can be 25 kHz to 2 MHz. The uplink frequency is from 2401 to 2409 MHz, and the downlink is 10,491 to 10,499 MHz, horizontally polarized. Total bandwidth is as large as 8 MHz. Amazing! According to Oscar 100 frequency allocations, the first item needed was a antenna system. The 2.4 GHz TX FIT design idea was originally from W1GHZ. It was a pitch fit as shown in right top picture. The main feature of this feed is a screw on the top of the reflector, which can be used to easily tune the resonant frequency. Subsequently, I started to use PA3FYM design, which published in debut journal, shown in the middle picture. In terms of LNB, a many PLL-based LNB can be used. It is easy to replace LNB internal reference crystal oscillator as a high-stable TCXO oscillator, so that the receiving frequency drifting issue can be solved. The right lower corner picture shows a 0.5 ppm 55 MHz TCXO mode for an LNB. For the power amplifier, due to the Oscar 100 uplink frequency is in 2.4 GHz range, my first PA was from a second-hand market, but it was designed to be used as a telecommunication RRU. The PA originally was working at 2.1 GHz roughly. By replacing input capacitor and outset oscillator, the working frequency can be extended to 2.4 GHz, but not perfect. It can work at 2.4 GHz and generate around 10 watts power, and gain is 40 dB. However, the actual efficiency is low. It consumes around 8 to 10 amp currents at 24 watts. Certainly, the low efficiency might be because as I did not modify the circuit properly. It was not good experiences. Power amplifier transistor gone one by one in the next few weeks. Right lower corner picture is the picture showing only one transistor survived. Transmitting and receiving signals using SDRs. The transmitter front end is a Lime SDR Mini. It can generate a 2.4 GHz signal directly, and the output power is around -5 dBm. My first QSO has nothing to be used as a references. My PA output power was set to 10 watts consistently. With a 1.2 meter dish, it is easy to make SSB QSOs. In some later tests, I found the Oscar 100 transponder was so sensitive. Under CW mode with a 0.6 meter dish, 1 watt uplink RF power, I was unable to get S7 downlink singles. In some later experiments, I was to use only 10 dBm to make FT4 date QSOs. For the software, I was using SDA Ringo to do transmitting, modulation, and power controls. I also use SD Rango to demodulate LNB-IF 739 MHz singles. For quite a bit time, I was using the mentioned setup, where the SDR plus PA working on Oscar 100. After I made 150 QSOs, my PA final transistor was finally dead. Since then, I started my Oscar 100 gear DIY and development journey. Since 2019, I started to DIY some Oscar 100 gears, including uplink, downlink, frequency converters, S-band power amplifiers, and others. In the same time, I also tested DATV mode and tried some interesting and fun stuff I will share with you all. Number 1.0 mixer. It was not easy to carry a laptop and SDR system to have fun with Oscar 100. In order to use my Yaesu FT991A from making contacts, that means converting LNB 739 MHz output the 70 cm band, as well as up converting 70 cm band to 13 cm band, 2.4 GHz. I bought some RF modules from AliExpress. These were including ADF4351 PLL. It was used as a local oscillator as PF5189 amplifiers. ID1 mixer for down conversion. HMC213 mixer for up conversion. At the same time, I used the AT-Tiny 13 MCU to control ADF4351 and the RX-TX conversion. The RX-TX conversion part was based on a coaxial relay. An X-ray GPSDO was also added to provide clock reference for ADF4351. Left picture shows a block diagram drawing by me. Right picture shows a prototype of the block diagram. The module-based proof of concept project has been done in this way. After some testing and verifying works, I have made an housing case for the prototype. Inside, it contains up-down frequency conversions, TX-RX conversion, and a 1 watt output S-band amplifier. Coaxial cable has large losses. My Radio Shack to final PA has 10 meter distance. The coaxial cable can have a mentioned 30 dB insertion losses. The 1 watt PA is used to compensate the coaxial cable loss between my Radio Shack to my final PA. Number 2.0 mixer. Around 2019 November time, I found PE1CKK have published a diagram on Twitter. I was so amazing how simple was the design. Therefore, I decided to design a simple mixer based on PE1CKK's diagram. The following are how it works. First, the design is simple, so simplicity. ADF4351 provided 25.79 31 MHz reference clock to LNB PLL wire duplexer when receiving. Thus, the LNB local oscillator will work at 10,050 MHz. LNB AF output is sent at 430 MHz, 70 cm band, and this can be picked up by a commercial on-mode armate radio transceiver. For the transmitting, ADF4351 generates 10,969.500 MHz. Our radio produces 430 MHz when mixing with the ADF4351 single. A 2.4 GHz single can be obtained by filtering and amplifying it. Finally, the single can be sent to satellite uplink by a dish and feed. I finally made a PCB for my version 2 mixer. After some debugs, I built my number 1 to number 3 mixes. See picture. From this picture, you can see different housing cases and implementations. Compared to a PCB design, the housing case is more difficult topic. This frequency converted actually was based on my version 1.0, and it was an extended and more completed version, but the idea was the same. I designed the PCB, added UHF, VHF, 6 meters, 10 meters poles. In fact, I did find an issue when using 28 MHz. When 2.4 GHz connected some harmonic, which was not be able to be filtered out. The RX-TX conversion was implemented by pin diode. On the board OCXO used, it also contained LNB BIOS generator and a reference duplexer. Moreover, it also provided PA-started singles, some indicators, and auxiliary functions. The RX-TX conversion was released by checking radio RF input power. It is easy to use design, only one cable is needed between radio and these drives. I have opened all my design on GitHub, including my homemade mixer and amplifiers. DIY PA1 1 watt driver PA, gain is around 36 dB. Its architecture follows Echo 5 plus 2.4 GHz filter, plus SPF 5189 and plus 5L357. FR4 PCB used. I also used a large amount of copper tips to do RF matching. This PA can lift line SDR output -5 dBm, output to 1 to 1.5 watts level. It can be used to drive a final PA. The heatsink is a CNC machined. DIY PA number 2, based on MRF21045. Gain 11 dB. It needs a drive PA and can produce 10 watts power. It is using 0.6 mm FR4 PCB. Since the FR4 dielectric constants are not stable when pushed to fabrication. On the other hand, MRF21045 is designed to be used for 2.1 GHz band, where not 2.4 GHz. Impedance parameters mentioned in its PDF datasheet, so I have to use copper tips to do impedance match test. DIY PA number 3, MRF21085, 25 watts PA. Gain is around 13 dB. The main purpose to build this amplifier is to verify some previous experience. To summary, when working at 2.4 GHz and large RF power, FR4 based PCB is not suitable. especially it has large losses. Moreover, some RF transistors are not designed for 2.4 GHz. This makes a huge effort needed for turning every individual PA. As a result, those projects I have used are not useful for doing mass production. Built my number 4 gear. It used MRF21085 PA. I also made some fun projects based on Oscar 100. On the left picture, I have a combined Lime SDR Mini into a homemade DATV transmitter. It is using Date Express software. I still have a 1 watt S-band driver PA in this box, and it used to drive a RUU modified PA. That PA can produce 70 watts juice when using 333K symbol rate singles. So, Oscar 100 DATV mode, communication can be made. Right low picture is the recreated 56DZP mini tuner USB DATV receiver. I also added 18 volts LNB BIOS generator circuit. Using this receiver, I can receive Oscar 100 wideband radios. Under DATV mode, I used a 90 cm dish. For 333K symbol rate DVB-S2 radio streams, this configuration is acceptable. There are some radio glitches occasionally. The reason might be from the size of the small dish or the TCXO replaced in the LNB, bad phase noises, so error rate cannot be guaranteed. From the right picture, when it is under 250K symbol rates, FEC2 third MER, the signal is just over the threshold D1. If it is working under 333K symbol rate, D0 is just obtained. Using this DATV gear, I have made some Oscar 100 wideband radio bidirectional QSOs. Until recent, I found a PA which is extremely suitable for Oscar 100 applications. High gain 56 dB, high power with P1 dB, A gross 44 dBm. Power supply range is around 24 to 30 volts. Look at the table on top. It can be said from -20 dBm to -10 dBm input. The PA has a stable gain. From Oscar 100 transponder, 20 watts is enough for covering any narrow band modes. Moreover, 20 watts will give a superb linearity. To pair to Lime SDR or Plute SDR for working on Oscar 100, there is not need to do any modifications. Certainly, if a 2.4 GHz filter can be added, the PA will output less harmonic and have a low change to self oscillation. By using this 56 dB 20 watt plus PA, I have built my number 5 gear. To pairing Plute SDR for Oscar 100 applications, I designed a power adapt PCB. It came with a 30 volts to 5 volts and LNB 12 watts BIOS circuit. It also provided 5 watts power supply to Plute SDR. A port was added for feeding LNB reference clock, and PTT control can enable the PA. It is plug-and-play device for Plute SDR. I also made fun stuff. For example, I made a feed football 60 cm dish for easy carrying and using as a portable station, and in various shapes of equipment housing. I also made an umbrella dish antenna. This is a 1.2 meters umbrella by adding some conductive materials. Although umbrella shapes is not perfect, it is still useful for making QSOs on Oscar 100. This is a 2.4 GHz helical antenna. It has 25 turns. The gain of it is around 18 dB. It can be used to Oscar 100 narrow band mode uplink. When I use Wi-Fi patch antenna, I can use Oscar 100 making some FT4 date mode and CW mode QSOs. When under CW mode, I can even receive a signal without using a dish, just using a LNB pointing to the Oscar 100 position. For about 2 years, I can see the Oscar 100 transporter is very successful project. From the latest feedback on the internet, I found some friends at 0 degrees or negative degrees of the coverage was able to make some QSOs. In China, there are many places that meet this condition. For example, I usually go to OL 36 grade on business, which is at the edge of the coverage. I would like to try to make QSO there. I hope I can do it successfully. I wish I can see many more Chinese ham doing QSOs on Oscar 100. I have given my number 001 and number 002 gears to my friend Gronami. I also donated my number 005 gear to November 24 grad, Youth Radio Activity Center. I hope more hams can get to know and use Oscar 100. This is my workshop. Most of gears I made for Oscar 100 we from here. I have made many good friends by doing Oscar 100 related works. They offered me many helps and never asked for pay. In the same way, I would like to share all my experience to more hams. Many thanks for watching my presentation. This is Bravo Golf 0 Alpha Uniform Bravo BG0AUB 73. Best wishes.
Hi everyone. Is my sound okay? So I think Feng has a little bit difficult to speak English. I will try to translate some questions. If anyone wanna ask some questions, I think I can translate to Feng and I mean to kind of translator or repeater here.
I thought it was a very good presentation, which you let him know is very interesting. Shows a lot of skill.
Yeah, that's Feng is just test a happy face there. So let me tell him. I think Feng is very happy to hear you think they are very interesting and they enjoy these projects.
Are the boards or the assemblies available commercially or just from the descriptions on GitHub?
他说你这个板子是不是会卖，然后还是开源到那个 GitHub 上？有一部分是开源的嘛，基本都开源了。Feng said almost all the projects are open source at this moment on GitHub. Yeah. And Feng is just to have the GitHub link there. KB7WSD 说他那个演讲还是挺有意思的，然后给那个新的这个到卫星上的这些爱好者很多启示，然后帮助他们这个熟悉这个电子相关的一些内容。 It's quiet, right? Come on, do some free talk, free chat here. uh, how's everyone today? So good.
So how many hams are active on QO100 in China now?
封那个K0AIZ 问有多少那个爱好者在 Q100上，在中国？
哎呀，在中国的话，大概有，现在只有4-5个吧，我觉得通过的只有4-5个，5个。
Phone said to me, there are about 4 to 5 hams, Chinese hams on the satellite. QSO have been had QSO with them, Chinese hams. There are not many, for I understand. Yes. So I'm not in China, so I'm in the K. Seems too many because for I understand the location is the issue, the coverage of the Q100 because it seems that the coast area in China is not being covered by this satellite. So there are a lot of hams at that region, but not actually in the west of China.
Thank you. I was very impressed with the way you put things together, and the umbrella antenna looks like a lot of fun. What did you use to cover the material to make metallic or a conductive covering on the umbrella?
那个Art 讲就是你那个雨伞的天线，是挺有意思的。他说你那雨伞天线是怎么搞的，然后它是怎么导电的？后面那个这个是怎么？
那个雨伞天线就是导电布，一种布料就导电布，但是那个抛物线可能是不是很完美，所以说勉强能用吧。
Phone said the umbrella antenna actually at the back of the umbrella is a conductive kind of a material covered at the back of the umbrella, and actually the shape or the curve of the umbrella is not that perfect. It seems. It works, but it seems it's still way to improve. Yeah, it's a conductive close at the back of the umbrella. Yeah.
It looks like a fun thing to do. Now he just has to get the manufacturer to learn how to make parabolas.
他说可以去搞一个生产出来这个样子天线。
我也想试一下，还是很便携。
Phil said he wants to try because that is the feature is the portable feature, so it can be smaller. Yeah, when carrying.
就带个雨伞天线出门的最大的好处是，你老婆不会抱怨你出门还带着天线玩。
Phone just make a joke saying so. The big advantage of carrying that kind of umbrella antenna is your wife never complain. You bring the antenna, bring the rag, wouldn't have a holiday.
Yeah, but can you get her to carry the equipment?
那我没太明白他说的什么是。Arto, would you say again? So what did you? Sorry.
Oh, I was making a joke. I was just wondering if we could get our wives to carry the equipment, like the power supply and the batteries.
那你可以让你老婆拿着那个收发信机啊，拿着电池那些，然后你拿着雨伞。我觉得你可以直接把那个语音直接就用中文在那个会议里面吧，然后我们就不用在这个什么了。
直接开着2个的话，可能会有那个回音。哦，你说把这个那个微信那个停掉。
对，
好。
We just have another link, signal link to do the translation. So just asking phone to speak Chinese in this channel, and I can do the translate and for translate the two-way translation.
好了，应该现在有语音了吧？现在应该有语音了吧？
那没问题。We have your voice, good.
其实在中国还有很多覆盖区，如果是有机会的话，都想试一下更低角度的，能在 Q100工作的区域啊。
Feng is saying so. Actually, the Q100 coverage is covering a lot of areas in China. Even it's limited, but still a lot of places are covered. Feng wants to try basically encourage other harms to join to use the satellite. I mean, in China. And another thing is Feng wants to try for some areas with the very low angle to try if can make a QSOs or something like that. Oops, sorry. It's quiet.
I think he really impressed us. Thank you very much. I'm going to drop off, but I wanted to say thank you. That was a very nice presentation.
K0AI 这是跟你讲说他可能想那个离开一下了。他说他觉得是非常非常好的一个演讲，非常有意思。
Okay, thank you very much. 73.
I think it is not easy for ordinary radio amateur to use Oscar 100. Mr. Zhao Feng has given me a lot of help. Thank you very much.
Are there any more questions?
Yeah, please go ahead. KB7WSD.
我看一下，我正在看。哪种布料
？Go ahead, Grant.
我选的这个布料是不是表面镀导电材料的。这个布料应该是在布料中编织了某种导电的材料。那这样的话就会柔韧性更好，不容易被弯折的时候产生断裂。摸起来跟普通的布料是一样的感觉。
Feng is talking about the codes it was using this is not actually is any plating conductive materials on top of something like a painting things. Is actually some fabricate inside the clothes, and it's not, it seems it's not massive conductive, but it does conduct electrons. The in that way the clothes is more flexible and something like that, softer. Yeah. Then is not sure if you can buy anything like that from Amazon, probably.
So I found a headset. So to be clear, if I understand correctly, you're saying it's really a woven. It's not a spray-on coating or something like these. The first ones that I found were, but it's in fact a woven metal or metal and fabric. Is that correct? Do I understand correctly?
我还真不太清楚它这个工艺是什么样子的，是
混纺吧，应该是导电材料跟这个纤维材料的混合纺织。
I think Fang is typing to you. Yes.
Yes, I see that. Yeah, okay, so it is, I do understand correctly. So what I'm looking for is something that uses some sort of wire, copper, nickel plated, something or other, along with whatever other textile to make it flexible but strong. Okay, that's very exciting. This whole idea of an umbrella is interesting because you can potentially adjust the focal point, and maybe even mechanically change the umbrella to change the shape. This will be something enjoyable to experiment with. I would not have considered it had I not seen him suggest it. Thank you.
他说那个雨伞贴线应该是挺方便的。另外呢，雨伞贴线呢本身可以调整它这个形状嘛，然后可以让这个焦点啊什么都可以变，然后或者是特殊的一种机械结构，整个的形状啊，整个的情况都可以改变，这样的。还是非常感谢你的这个有意思的这个贴线。
谢谢。Thank you.
Mr. Zhao, consider producing a kit to allow more ham in use and experience.
我想 BG0CAB 是说有没有可能出一些 kit 啊，或者是那个，然后让他们去体验一下之类的。
雨伞天线没有了吧？雨伞天线已经测试完了，但是有一些其他的项目。
He says the umbrella antenna projects are probably not to make it as a kit or anything like that. Probably there are some other projects that will be he's trying to do something, maybe a kit or anything like that.
Well, thank you very, very much for a really interesting presentation. And also thank you to Yuan, is it? I hope
Yeah.
For your translation during this this segment. Made all the difference in the world. So thank you, both of you. It was really great. And I guess Clark is the person who was giving the actual presentation. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you to you too, Clark. I appreciate it. And with that, I guess I'll say goodbye. I don't think there's any more questions coming. And thank you again. I'm glad to have this connection between here and there. So bye-bye.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
Jing 3. Thank you, November Charlie, for Lima Mike. Bye bye. 谢谢圈圈。
I had to tell you that I just got that call sign today.
啊，他必须告诉你，他今天才换的这个户号。
哈哈，